What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Triple Z. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Indiana Pacers advanced to their first NBA Finals since 2000, protecting home court in Game 6, 125-108, closing out the New York Knicks. Pascal Siakam was named Eastern Conference Finals MVP, 30 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks in Game 6. Truly an incredible performance. Every game that he scored 30, the Pacers ended up winning. He knows how to close out a series. 2019, Pascal Siakam put up a stat line of 26 points, 10 rebounds in Game 6 versus the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. Toronto won the series 4-2. Siakam wins his first NBA championship. 2025 Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals, and Pascal drops his third 30-point game of the series, sending the New York Knicks home. Tyrese Halliburton, 21 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 11 points coming in the fourth quarter. When he plays with the scorer's mindset, the Pacers are close to unbeatable, getting 2 feet inside the paint, forcing the Knicks defense to collapse, scoop layups, floaters, throw down dunks, then having that great balance of finding his teammates and getting them involved as well. Halliburton and Miles Turner runs a high pick and roll that forces Karl-Anthony Towns to guard Halliburton one-on-one. Halliburton gets 2 feet inside the paint, pocket pass to Miles Turner, and he gets an and-one finish over OG Anunoby. You have another play where Halliburton turns the corner, he's attacking the baseline, he gets 2 feet inside the paint, he finds Obi Toppin, cut into the basket, and Obi finishes around the rim. Then you have a sideline pick and roll with Halliburton and Obi Toppin. Halliburton gets around the screen, gets under the basket, paint touch, swing pass to Nembhard, who's on the wing. Nembhard sees Brunson, attacks the closeout, and Jalen Brunson, his feet kind of got tangled up and he gets out of position, and that leads to Andrew Nembhard getting a mid-range shot for the easy 2 points. Halliburton has delivered the goods in the postseason. Clutch moments, great individual performances, stealing celebration. He's really established himself as a suitable superstar. Not afraid of taking the big shot, will put his teammates before himself. He represents a positive image for the Indiana Pacers. And speaking about the Pacers team, this roster has downplayed the statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the playoffs slows the game down, or that you can only trust 7 players in the postseason. Playing an 11-man rotation, Obi Toppin was great on both ends, hustling on defense, gave you 3 blocks, he grabbed 6 rebounds, scored 18 points, hit a couple of his 3-point shots, caught some lobs as well. He was amazing. I thought he was really great with getting off the ball quickly, knowing when to get in a dribble handoff, and just attack the paint as well. He was fantastic. You got Thomas Bryant, who fell out of the rotation. Avery Bradley started to take his minutes, but then Bradley goes down with the injury. Walker was inserted into the game, but then he left with an ankle injury as well. So Thomas Bryant was called to play in Game 6, and he had his best game. 11 points, went 3 of 4 from the 3-point line. Then Ben Shepherd, he gave you some meaningful minutes throughout this series. 38 bench points for the Indiana Pacers in Game 6. The Pacers defense helped their play in transition. You got Obi Toppin intercepting a pass from Mikal Bridges. Toppin takes it coast to coast and finishes the play over Karl-Anthony Towns. You got Brunson. He goes right with his dribble. Nembhard with great hands gets the steal. And then that play leads to Halliburton's dunk over Mikal Bridges. Halliburton hedges on a Brunson screen. Then he gets the deflection. The Pacers are outrunning, and that leads to Nembhard getting a wide open 3 in the corner, and he knocks the shot down. The individual defense from Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard was amazing, right? So when you look at the Pascal and Karl-Anthony Towns matchup, Siakam was great at defending Karl-Anthony Towns in the post. Forced him into taking difficult shots around the rim. He drawed some offensive fouls from Karl-Anthony Towns. So minimizing Cat's impact in Game 6 was great for the Indiana Pacers and making him just feel uncomfortable. Andrew Nembhard, it felt like for the entire series, at least before Game 6 happened, Andrew Nembhard was losing that battle against Jalen Brunson. And let's keep in mind, Andrew Nembhard is a really good defender. He's a really good defender, and Jalen Brunson just made him look like an average defender. But with Aaron Nesmith having this ankle injury, you didn't want to put him on Jalen Brunson. So I believe Nesmith guarded, either OG Anunoby or Karl-Anthony Towns on most possession, but Andrew Nembhard got the assignment, once again, of guarding Jalen Brunson, and this was his best defensive game on Jalen Brunson. Picking him up 94 feet, being up in his airspace, putting his hands up, right? Like, Jalen Brunson didn't have the best game, only scored 18 points, but Andrew Nembhard just being physical, being body to body with him, staying connected, picking his pocket. 6 steals. He had 6 steals. Playing the passing lanes, being aggressive, picking up 94 feet, fighting over screens. He was just all over the place defensively. Like, this was a great Andrew Nembhard defensive game on Jalen Brunson. And this is such a great moment for the Indiana Pacers. You have Miles Turner, who's the longest tenure player for the Indiana Pacers organization. He was originally drafted by this team. And Turner has played against Kobe Bryant. He's played against Tim Duncan, Dwayne Wade, right? He's played against all these great players, and now he's finally making it to the NBA Finals after 10 seasons. This is amazing for him. And, he's been through the trade rumors. He's seen multiple players come in and out of the Pacers organization. He's had multiple head coaches, and for him to, stay with this team for so long and now be 4 wins away from winning his first NBA title. That's amazing for Miles Turner. You got Pascal Siakam. He won back in 2019, helping the Toronto Raptors win their first NBA championship. Now he has another opportunity to help the Indiana Pacers win their first championship. Like, Pascal Siakam, he was so amazing in this series. So amazing in this series. Had 3 30-point games. That cannot go under the radar. Players like Tyrese Halliburton. Last year, during the Eastern Conference Finals, he was injured against the Boston Celtics. But now, 1 year later, he is going to his first NBA titles. I said it before. The clutch moments, stealing celebration, big moments, right? He had that historic, game in Game 4. 32 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds, 0 turnovers. He had the big shot in Game 1 where the ball bounces up and then goes right through the rim. He does the Reggie Miller choke. He's been amazing, amazing time in and time out again. Like, he is earning that name of being a superstar. You have Rick Carlisle making his 6th NBA Finals. Like Thomas Bryant, he's won a championship, I believe, with the Denver Nuggets. Here he is with another opportunity to win another championship with the Indiana Pacers. And he had a big game in Game 6. So this is great for the Indiana Pacers. They've gone about their business correctly. They got Pascal Siakam last year at the trade deadline. Years before, they got Tyrese Halliburton in that trade with the Sacramento Kings. You have Miles Turner being the longest 10-year veteran. You drafted Benedict Mathurin. You were able to acquire T.J. McConnell. You got Ben Shepherd. You got Aaron Nesmith in that trade with the Boston Celtics. And let's see how they're going to play out, man. This is going to be a big-time challenge for them going up against, basically the best team in the NBA playoffs, the OKC Thunder. They have been dominating with their defense. But then now the Pacers, they have a dominating offense. So I'm going to be happy to see that matchup between a great offense versus a great defense. And there's more things to dive into, and hopefully I can get to a video later on the week before the NBA Finals. But let's talk about the New York Knicks really quickly. They got outworked, out-physicaled. There was no discipline or awareness from the New York Knicks. The amount of times the Knicks would score a basket and then the Pacers would inbound the ball and get a bucket easily within 7 to 8 seconds was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. That's a lack of discipline and awareness of where your assignments are throughout the court. I mean, you got Pascal Siakam being the first player, it felt like, every single time in transition, being ahead of the Pacers and Knicks players as well. He was the first player down on the other side of the court getting a 2 points or getting a dunk. That was very worrisome for me watching the New York Knicks. You're in a scenario where if you lose this game, your season is over. And the way how they played, turning over the ball, Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns not having their best games, that defensive lineup with, Josh Hart, DeLon Wright, Shamet, it was good because it was getting some stops, but offensively, they couldn't compete with the Indiana Pacers. And in order for you to have a great chance against the Pacers, you have to score the basketball. You have to score the basketball. That defensive lineup, in the moment, it was good. It got some stops, but when it was time to get something going offensively, you couldn't do anything. It's also hard to keep up with the Pacers when you look at players like Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, 2 great offensive players, but we know they have weaknesses defensively. And you saw Tyrese Halliburton have 2 options. If he decides to run a pick and roll with, Karl Anthony Towns, that deep drop coverage made no sense to me at all with Karl Anthony Towns. The amount of space he gave Tyrese Halliburton to work with was inexcusable. Inexcusable. One play, it was, I think Pascal is the one that sets the screen. It forces Cat to play deep drop, but he gives a ton of space to Tyrese Halliburton, and Tyrese Halliburton, he hesitates. He hesitates. He's oh, I'm this wide open. He shoots the 3 and knocks it down. And then there was the plays where Cat's in deep drop coverage and he's low to the ground. he is low to the ground. So Halliburton recognizes if you're going to be this low, I'm just going to put a floater on you every single time. Like, you're this low, you're not going to get up that fast to block this floater. And then when Halliburton decides to put Brunson in the pick and roll, we know Brunson is not looking to fully switch out to Halliburton. You know, Brunson likes to hedge a lot, but when Brunson hedges, it's a quick hedge. And then once he leaves, there's a wide open space for Halliburton or Pascal Siakam or Andrew Nembhard to attack and just be, you know, impactful once they get inside the paint. Because when Indiana gets inside the paint, forces your defense to collapse, they put you in the blender and they're spraying the ball around, finding Andrew Nembhard in the corner, finding Pascal Siakam for an open three, or Halliburton for an open three as well, or finding Obi Toppin for a baseline dunk. Like, the Pacers can put you in a ton of damage if you're not disciplined defensively, if you're not aware of what's going on defensively as well. And the Knicks had no answers. They had no answers. The Knicks just couldn't keep up with the Pacers. I mean, the Knicks overall from the three-point line, they went 9 of 32 from the three-point line, which is 28%. The Pacers shot 17 of 33 from the three-point line, 51%. Free throws, Knicks 17 of 26, 65% from the free throw line. Pacers 16 of 19 from the free throw line, 84%. Like, the Pacers were just the better team. They were just a better team. That's why I had them winning in 6 games. And, you know, with the Knicks now, we're going to hear all the conversations. Like, should they trade Karl-Anthony Towns or should they fire Tom Thibodeau? Like, I don't know. Like, they gotta, you know, figure out what's going to work best for them within the next 5 years. I thought they got some good things out of this series. Like, you saw OG Anunoby. I thought he took an extra leap with his offensive games, step back threes, scoring in the post, attacking driving angles. I creating a shot for himself. I thought OG Anunoby really took a step up with his offensive game. Mitchell Robinson being a great defensive anchor, his switchability onto the perimeter, you know, getting deflections, playing the passing lanes, you know, taking up your airspace. When you pick up the ball, like, do not pick up the ball against Mitchell Robinson, because he will step out to you and just take up all of your space with his long body frame and his long wingspan. With Mikal Bridges, you don't give up 5 first-round picks to not extend the guy. Like, sooner or later, they have to extend Mikal Bridges. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. When the offseason comes, we'll talk about the New York Knicks and what adjustments they have to make and what they have to bring in and what they, you know, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. If you ask me about Tom Thibodeau, I can see the Knicks bringing him back. I really can. Because, like, nobody expected the New York Knicks to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Based on the evidence that we saw during the regular season, I mean, they didn't win a single game against the Thunder, Celtics, Cavaliers, like the better teams in the regular season. And then here they are in, like, the first round against the Pistons, and the Pistons were being physical. Like, that was a dogfight between the Knicks and the Pacers. And then you have Jalen Brunson doing a crazy crossover over Sar Thompson, one of the best defenders we have in this league, and hits a clutch 3, and that ends that series. Then against the Boston Celtics, everyone, including myself, thought that series was over in like 5 games. The Knicks ended up winning in 6 games. They overcame 2 20-point deficits against the reigning champs. Jalen Brunson was big time in those fourth quarters. Then you have Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby being, you know, great defensive wing players. And then they get to the conference finals for the first time in forever, it felt like, in 25 years. And this Pacers team just ran them into the ground. And it really started in game 1, you know, in the Eastern Conference Finals, when the Knicks blew a 13-point lead or 16-point lead, whatever it was, with 3 minutes left. And then Halliburton and Aaron Nesmith, you know, making all these threes. Like, and then that game goes into overtime. Like, you knew the Pacers had the Knicks numbers since game 1. Thank you all for listening to Triple Z. Appreciate you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. And we'll see you next time for the NBA Finals. Zzz.